Welcome to the July 6th, 2026 Advance Report from McGowanGroup clients. This week, we're going to cover first half performances, the top stories, financial stories from the first half, along with those performances, some warning signs, and what else, Alex?
Well, we have what's happened before and after Epic Fury, what potentially comes next, what's in the bargain bin right now, and what is ridiculously overpriced.
Ridiculous, a $12 billion disaster waiting to happen. Don't ever say we don't issue warnings.
That's right.
Yeah, we've been right on these before, and we'll show you in this week's video. Welcome to the July 6, 2026 Advance Report for McGowanGroup clients. Whoa, what a first half of the year.
Yeah.
Remember that Epic Fury thing?
Well, you had that sell-off going into that, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is it. This is the big correction."
10. We were still up for the year.
That's right.
Even when that was minus 10. We're not always that good, but we were doing pretty good, actually.
Sometimes it's good to have some energy.
We'll cover that too.
Yep.
And all right, this is the McGowanGroup Wealth Management third quarter 2026 update, and it is posted for your viewing pleasure at networthradio.com. You can actually contact us there, fill out the preliminary client questionnaire, and we'll upgrade your plan for the rest of the year. Now we start to look at the second half, but we need to cover the top stories from the first half.
Dow up 9.5%, S&P
also up 9%.
Yeah, pretty close behind it.
Whoa,
AI's been driving this, but what's interesting is
20% year-to-date gain. This was a minus 10 right here, right?
Yeah.
Right after Epic Fury began, it's minus 10, and then plus. So that's 30%. Whoa.
What's interesting about this is that this is not a Mag 7 trend, right? Mag 7 down about 4.5% for the year. It's the other components of AI.
This is NASDAQ 100.
Yeah.
So you get companies like SanDisk, Western Digital, Micron in there. So who's getting checks?
Who's getting
the
checks?
The semiconductors, everybody figured out, whoa, you need a lot of memory.
That's right.
Right? If your AI is going to be able to speak to you, it has to remember a lot of stuff. But the straight and the supply, the aftermath of Epic Fury, the tech horizon, right? But also the pockets of froth, dangerous overpricing, and summer planning season. Let's do summer planning season, and then I want to get to some good economic news.
Yeah, it's a good time to call your CPA, your estate planning attorney, if you need an update there.
And your wealth manager review. Yes, we'll cover healthy year-to-date performances. Those are uploaded at Black Diamond.
Black Diamond, yeah.
The upgraded client portal. Your reviews are waiting. We're also going to do a tax summary estimate for your CPA for the June 30th.
Always good to do.
They can preliminary plan your taxes for 2026. On the estate side, our wealth managers will be checking your beneficiaries, also account structures, any trusts or wills that need to be loaded in the document vault. And we would advise you to set time for a reading of the will if you haven't done that. I know it's depressing to read your own will, but it is good to actually read it. Most people don't.
Well, you might want to add somebody or delete somebody. Just
for
saying.
Bad behavior. If there's been bad behavior, it's time for an update, and we'll be checking that along with account structures. Now, here's the good news going into the second half. All right? So this was the oil and gas index, a 20% gain so far this year. But I will point out, at the close of the first quarter, this was great for portfolios, deep value, right?
Yeah.
You have forever changed the future of oil and gas because of Epic Fury.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you go back, 30 years, oil and gas made up about 30% of the S&P 500. It's still about 5%. So it's still a very small portion of the overall pie.
And it's 30% more cash flow by current estimates.
Yeah.
In the space, pipelines and exploration are integrated too. Now, here's the good economic news.
What's that?
You've returned to, this is Epic Fury where it began, right? These are the people that somehow had good information.
And they knew it was coming.
Right there, right? That's a conspiracy theory. Who did they tell? But anyway, boom, you go to a high of near $120 a barrel.
If you had a boat and it was on the boat, it was a little bit more.
If it was on the boat, you could get over 120. Well, we've settled into negotiations, ceasefires, strikes, counter-strikes. They're mapping the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
And the strikes and counter-strikes, they just gradually play jihadi whack-a-mole to gain back control of the Strait of Hormuz. Mm-hmm. That's my current thesis, right? Because it's not open or closed. It is a confusing process of strikes and counter-strikes.
I think it's mostly open because they want to get paid. I'm just saying. The Iranians, everybody wants to get paid. Well, hey, we need to refill our coffers.
Yeah. So this takes away, remember it was going to be a gasoline-driven recession?
Oh, yeah.
And gasoline's down 2% on the final trading day. Now look at this. So you're back to this price. What you have is, though, a permanent increased cash flow because you've got to refill storage.
That's about 1 billion barrels in total globally. That's a lot.
Let's say there's maybe 500 million of that was surplus, but that's at least 500 million barrels that has to go back into the strategic petroleum reserves, back into a lot of the storage just so it'll function.
Yeah.
So that's a different picture. Now let's get to the economy for the second half.
Okay.
Right? Because we go into the second half. Now, ADP, private payrolls, they do a lot less revisions than BLS, labor statistics. So this is the second quarter right here.
Looks pretty good to me.
And the numbers agree this time of ADP and BLS. They'll have monthly variances, but that's an average of over 100,000 net new jobs for the whole second quarter. That's pretty healthy.
That's healthy.
What happened to profits in the first half?
They were up significantly.
27% over last year was the first quarter growth rate. Going into July, we'll be watching reports, right? The earnings reports come fast and furious after the holiday week.
Well, yeah, and margins are expected to increase by 14.8%, according to FactSet
the highest profit margins for the S&P in history.
In history, since 2009. I'll have to point that out. FactSet started tracking that back then.
All right.
Stupid things people do with their money.
People do with their money. So I was going to Kramer. I was watching Kramer on the CNBC.com.
Yeah.
Because I like Kramer. And he's all stocks all the time, but I still like Kramer. Well, this article popped up about this AI company that has like 40% more upside or whatever. So it's up 115% year to date. I thought, wow, okay, let's take a look. So I went to do some research. We use Market Surge, but let's look at this company as what are they worth, market capitalization, how much money do they make, and what does their cash flow look like?
Yeah, well, let's
people just piling into this thing 115% year to date. Well, they're worth $12 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Alex, how much money have they made?
None. They actually burn lots of cash. They burn about $1.5 billion a year. And if you look at their balance sheet, which is not on here, their balance sheet has a negative $770 million of equity.
Wow.
So technically, it should be trading under zero, in my opinion.
They had to borrow money to cover their accumulated losses.
Yeah.
Okay. So that doesn't seem smart.
No.
People are excited because it's AI.
They all find their way back to trade to what it's worth, right? So everything ultimately will trade back to what it's worth.
I'm going to remind people of something.
What's that?
The crypto mania.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Bitcoin. All right. So year to date, it's down 33% from its peak, and it went below 58,000 briefly this week.
Right.
And what that tells you is when everybody's doing something and really excited,
yeah,
then you want to say, wow, what's the logic? Is it really worth it? And what is my estimable forward return if I own it?
Yeah. This reminds me of my mom. If everybody's jumping off a bridge, are you going to jump off a bridge?
Well, part of what collapsed the whole crypto market by over $2 trillion is there's this new open US dollar.
Oh, yeah. US dollar coin. Yeah.
Visa, MasterCard, all the banks are on board. And so that blockchain is instantaneous transactions. You don't need crypto to do it.
That's right.
Wow. And there's MicroStrategy, minus 44%, but down over 80% from its peak. Just reminding people, probably want to have a wealth manager that'll say, that sounds stupid. Right. Even if he disagrees with you, even if she disagrees with you, it saves some money.
That's right.
That'll save you, that could save you money. Now, what companies got smashed in the first half? It was software, payment processors. The stablecoin may premise take them out. AI is going to make software obsolete, which is kind of a reach.
Yeah, you had a lot of the food producers go like General Mills, companies like that also got taken to the woodshed because of GLP-1s and coming soon to a theater near you, GLP-2s.
What? Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We go with strategy. That is imploding. And I think there's a lot more to go here, especially since you took things away. But that's one reason you want to subscribe. Better yet, go to networthradio.com, themcgowangroup.com, and you can find the preliminary client questionnaire. Upgrade your plan with a team of 9 financial services professionals, wealth managers with portfolio management experience. That's the team you want on your side. These are things that we're watching. Just because we talk about it year to date doesn't make it a recommendation. But while Micron and Dell and everybody's going up hundreds of percent, they were just beating this tar out of Salesforce.
Yeah.
Down 40% for the year. And you look at their earnings and revenue, it's still double-digit growth.
Yep.
But they took it down 40%. At some point, that's deep value.
Oh, yeah.
And next,
Adobe, same thing, taken to the woodshed. Has its own suite of AI tools, by the way. So I think at the end of the day, it'll disrupt some software companies, but I think others, AI will be a force multiplier for them. And so I think that's kind of the next phase of this.
How many people used a PDF this week?
Probably everybody.
Right. And so those are good potential bargains for the maybe the end of the year tax loss selling, payment processors.
Right.
That we've got some categories that we're looking. We'll automatically rotate those into the portfolios. Right now, we're raising cash because the Dow 52,700 intraday for the first time in history. So bull market continues. Part of the job is just don't mess it up, but let's raise some tactical safety.
Sounds good.
We'll be back next week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in today to Net Worth Media. We also have Apple Podcast. Simply type in Net Worth Radio and boom, it'll hit your phone right then. If you also go to networthradio.com on a browser, you're going to be able to meet the team. You could see our performance track record, the model portfolios that go with today's broadcast. Also at networthradio.com, the Longer Play podcast is available there as well. We're grateful that you've tuned in. Remember, when we talk about a security, it doesn't make it a recommendation for your portfolio until we actually complete a written plan for you by Zoom or in office or simply a conference call. So reach us at networthradio.com if you want to get that arranged. Market fluctuations and how to handle them. We build high cash flow portfolios, and past performance doesn't guarantee future results, so you do have to be ready for challenging markets. We can build more cash flow during challenging markets than we can when everybody's happy and everything's up, which is when we tend to raise tactical safety. Those allocation strategies are here at networthradio.com. Thank you for tuning in.